Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, and we're looking forward to another great show tonight. We got a lot of guests going to join us from all over, talking about a lot of different types of racing. But we want to thank the folks that help us get on the air each and every week. And, of course, our good friend Scott Carpenter and B&L Office Furniture that provide us with our studio. Also, Game Day Men's Health of Libertyville, soon to be of Kenosha. Steve Sinclair and the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars. They've got a busy weekend coming up after Mother Nature was the only winner last week. Great Lakes Dragaway, and we'll be talking with John just a little bit about some of the things they have coming up. Pink Roofing, their crew did a great job, put a new roof on Kathy's and my house here in Antioch, and just a great group. They did a great job, and we appreciate that. So if you need roofing needs, with all these storms and that we've had lately, contact Pink Roofing of McHenry. Whitmore's Towing and Recovery of Waukegan. Fox Lake Harbor, Force One Performance Parts. The Hunt Club of Richmond. And we're going to be going out to the Hunt Club of Richmond the last Thursday in September. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Hunt Club of Richmond. And we'll also have a little car show going on out there, too. So that'll be the last Thursday in September. And I'm pretty sure that is September 25th. Getting close to Christmas. You can count the days across to Christmas. The Bumper to Bumper folks of the Midwest region. Bodycraft, Mark and Tony Maglio. They do a great job helping us out and also helping to support racing in general. And also they have two pace vehicles, one at Wilmot Raceway and one, the Black Knight, that'll be journeying out to LaSalle Speedway this coming Saturday night for the Bill Waite Jr. Memorial. We'll be talking more about that in a little while. MLS Auto Clinic, Eddie and Debbie Boyd. Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill Fusting and his fine crew in Beach Park. Goodwin Performance, Hartnell Chevrolet. Be watching and listening. There's going to be a car show coming up there sometime in October. Culver's of Paddock Lake. Speaking of car shows, there's going to be one there on Monday. That's right, I said Monday, September the 22nd. Mark that on your calendar now and plan on joining us Monday, September the 22nd. And I'm going to show you the flyer here. There we go. Cruising for Custard Motorsports and Cars Show. And again, that will be, get a little closer to the camera so it shows up a little bit better. September 22nd, 5 to 8 o'clock. And looking forward to having Cheryl McCreary and her band performing there as well. Also, Jack's Helmets. Always good to see Jack Eschbach. Saw him last weekend before the rain came at Wilmot Raceway and the Kenosha County Fair. Kaylee Burns and Rebel Bell Salon in Kansasville. Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation. They do a great job and help to provide the transportation for the Lake County Honor Flight. The next Honor Flight will be coming up the second weekend in October, and we'll give you more information on that later on one of our future shows. Aiming Apparel and Diecast, Garrett Tennyson and his fine crew. Thomas Guard IT, John Hatterline, attorney at law. Cabins on the Lake in Friendship, Wisconsin, 5-star race car bodies. Corey and Carl Schultz, and it was nice to catch up with Daniel Sanchez and Allison during the Kenosha County Fair before the rain came on Saturday. He was visiting from New York. And Impressions Count. Of course, they do a great job here, provide us with our signage. and also Nikki Nielsen. Nikki Nielsen, if you need to sell a home, buy a home, rent a home, or business, contact Nikki Nielsen, and she can help you out. So again, we want to thank all those folks that get us to shows and get us on each and every week. And I got a couple more things to finish up here. Whoops, just in case John Reidenbach joins us. John Hatterline might join us, but I doubt it. I want to thank the Bostic family. Julie and Nancy Bostic, the two daughters of Chuck Bostic Sr., and their brother was Chuck Jr. They helped put together a reunion night on opening night of the Kenosha County Fair last Wednesday up there in Wilmot, and for the Wilmot races. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great event. And CJ Malig of Johnsburg won the Wing 604 feature. The Bandit feature was awarded to Craig Cruiser out of Kenosha. The IMCA modified feature went to a driver that towed all the way from Davenport, Iowa, over 3 hours. Spencer Dirks, I believe is how it's pronounced. One of the top runners in the IMCA mods in the country, and he scored the feature win. I understand it was his first time at Wilmot in 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. Cody Potter of Paddock Lake won the Street Stock feature event. And we just had a lot of folks that came by to visit. Dave Horst of Burlington, Marty Evanson of Fox Lake, Steve Hartman, East Troy, Tony Couts of Ringwood, Brandon Fite of Union Grove, Terry Kudrowski of Union Grove, Dave Rudolph of Richmond, John Wistert of Kenosha, Jim Creekmore all the way from Henderson, Tennessee, Jeff Harris from Antioch, Dick Coburn, who's a poster we've got up behind us there, from Muskego. He came. Kevin Hinich was on hand, even though he was in the pit area doing a lot of pit duties for Chris Klemko's cars. Todd Dawn, past champion, also came by. And on Saturday night, before the rain, Dale Weichel and Gary Dye stopped in. So it was kind of good to see them as well. Do want to send our condolences out to a couple of folks. Humpy Wheeler, a longtime promoter for NASCAR and Charlotte Motor Speedway, passed away today, I believe it was, or yesterday. And also Robert Rue, who is in the Plymouth Wall of Fame for the Rue family that was inducted in 2023. He passed away last Saturday. His longtime wife, Marlene, I believe they've been married over 60-some years. One of his grandsons is Preston Rue, who does race currently. And, of course, Preston's wife is Chatty Matty. And so our condolences go out to the Rue family. Talking about Plymouth, this coming Friday, the MSA 360 Sprints, the Dirt King late models, the Grand Nationals, and the B Modifieds will be in action this Friday night up there at Plymouth. On Saturday night at LaSalle Speedway, it'll be the bumper-to-bumper IRA and the Midwest Open Wheel Association sprint cars in a combined show for the Bill Waite Jr. Memorial. We'll have more on that in the last half of the show. Also, the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance Wisconsin wingless sprint cars are in action at LaSalle today. Also on Saturday at Sycamore Speedway, it's the John Smith Memorial for the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery IRA Lightning Sprints. Also on the program, limited late models, street stocks, and pure stocks, plus an exhibition by Vintage Midgets. That's Saturday at Sycamore, and Saturday at Wilmot will be the MSA 360s, along with the Wing 604 sprint cars, as well as the Badger Midgets and the Bandits on Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. And last weekend, like I mentioned, especially Saturday, everybody got washed out Saturday. I don't think there was any racing within 100 miles of the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Maybe you had to get down to Grundy. I think they got racing in Saturday, but not really anybody else. And then coming up on Saturday, August the 30th, this was just announced by the Bumper to Bumper IRA Sprint Cars. They are moving the Harry Neitzel tribute and combining it with the Jim Whipperforth Memorial. Both events will be recognized and honored at the Beaver Dam Raceway's final IRA Sprint Car Show. The track is closing at the end of this season at Beaver Dam Raceway, so that'll be Saturday, August the 30th. Also on the program are the MSA 360 Sprints and the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery IRA Lightning Sprints. On Friday, August 29th at Plymouth will be the IRA 410 Wing Sprint Cars plus MSA. And then on Sunday, August 31st, will be the IRA and the wingless cars, and they will be at the Hill Raceway, which is in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. So it's the season may be winding down, but it's getting kind of busy. Also want to remind you, if you happen to play pickleball, I've seen it played. It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't played yet. On Sunday, this Sunday, August the 24th, at the Mike Roykel Memorial Park in Buffalo Grove, the Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse is having a fundraiser. They've got all kinds of events going on all day long. They start at like 8:30 in the morning and pretty much go all day. They have different age groups. More information, go to NICASA's website. They also got a 50-50 raffle going on Sunday as well. So check that out. Again, that's this Sunday, August the 24th. And one other thing I wanted to mention here, actually, Julie Bostic told me that today on Dale Jr.'s podcast, yes, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a podcast. He interviewed Ted Musgrave, and I'm going to show you a card that I have autographed by Ted Musgrave. Ted went on to run in NASCAR, was actually a NASCAR truck champion, and also should have won another championship, but that's a story for another day on how he was penalized at Homestead in the final race on the final restart of the year that cost him the championship. But anyway, he talked about Waukegan Speedway, which was kind of cool that he did that. So again, that was today. And I wanted to show this, not that I'm patting myself on the back, but it was very humbling that Julie and her sister Nancy and the Bostics presented this to me at Wilmot on Wednesday night in recognition of all the time that I've spent at Waukegan Speedway, starting back in 1977 and through today up at Wilmot. So I thank them for that. That was very touching and very much a surprise for me. And we also want to welcome Basan's Tree Service and Avon Automotive, two new folks joining our list, our growing list of marketing partners. So we want to welcome them as well. And okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears, as they like to say, and we're going to bring in Dale Elighter. Dale Elighter is joining us, and there's Dale.
Well, hey, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well, Dale, and it looks like you got a nice, out. Today's a beautiful day to be outdoors. I mean, today's the day we should be racing. We should have had this weather last Saturday, so we could have raced in Wilmot instead of watching a lot of water.
There you go.
So welcome to the program. And first of all, tell the folks a little bit about the car that you brought out last Wednesday night to Wilmot for the opening night of the fair. That car has a lot of history from what I saw on Facebook. So go ahead.
Yeah, Mike. After wrecking the other one, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I started shopping around and looking, and I almost bought that car like 3 years ago. Brandon Fight owned it, and it was sitting back in Kardowski's farm. And Mike Simons was the one that built it, I think, in the early 2000s. But the only video I could find of it on YouTube was Ed Duvall, like in 2009. But Mike had told me that either his cousin or Ed, somebody won a championship with that car. So we dug it out of the weeds. There's probably still weeds on it when I took it out on the track Wednesday night. We went through it as best we could, and swapped over my motor and tranny and all that stuff, and put in it and got it back together. And it felt surprisingly pretty well. I was amazed.
Well, and it had kind of a unique paint job on it, but I got to ask you, did you also have a couple of American flags that were taped to part of the roll cage?
Yeah, you messaged me about that one. Nope, my flag was still on my car at the end of the night, so that was from somebody else or something.
Okay, because somebody lost it on the front straightaway at the beginning of a heat race, and I almost got run over by the next heat race of street stocks because I took the Bodycraft pace truck and blocked the front straightaway while I could get the flag up. And I got it. I should bring it down. I mean, it's pretty torn up now. I got run over a few times during that race. I thought, the driver should show a little respect.
Right. Okay. Well,
around
it. I have Dover flag for a sponsor now. And I told my brother, when you put that flag on the side of my car, you got to make sure that thing doesn't come off, because we can't have that thing hitting the dirt on the track. And nope, it's still on the car right now. So my sponsor said when it gets tattered, he goes, put another one on there. We got more where that came from. So
there you go. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, tell the folks a little bit about your racing career. I mean, I don't think you started out in a street stock. I believe you started out in 4-cylinders, didn't you?
Yeah. I've been in a Bandit since like 2016. I was helping my buddy Kurt Brown with his Lightning Sprint back in 14 and 15, and I seen these kids rolling in with these 4-cylinders. I'm like, I could put one of those together for $1,000 and come out here and kick their butts. Well, so we got the first one from Rob Braun. He races up at Slinger. It was one of his kids' cars, and I bought that and raced it the first year. And my goal was top 5 in points, and we made that. And then I bought a Cavalier, and we built that, and we raced that for a few years. And it took me 4 years to win one feature. So I got to realize how serious these kids are about their 4-cylinders. And, they don't get the due respect that they deserve. But I'm telling you what, those people, and it's such a good group of people. Between Ryan and his gang and all the McKellips and stuff, it's just a good group of people. You got the Ellises and everybody else too. It's just a good group of people. I love it.
Yeah, and then you talk about the McKellips. We had pretty much the whole gang was on last week except for David. I mean, David didn't show up. He was supposed to come and he had something come up, but everybody else was on.
Okay.
And, it was kind of fun to have them all on. And then afterwards, there was a lot of surprise presents from the Bostics, from Julie Bostic. And one of the things she did is she gave the McKellips girls T-shirts that were kind of like, centered around the Bostic family. And, and she explained why she did that. She said that she always wanted to race. And when she'd ask her dad, Chuck Bostic Sr.,
sure,
Dad, is it okay? Can I race? Can you help me race? Dad would say, go ask your mother. So she'd go ask Mom. Mom would say, you probably guessed it, Dale, go ask your dad. And so as a result, Julie never got to race. So when she saw the girls in the pits after the races on Saturday, she said, I want to give each of you one of these T-shirts because you are fulfilling my dream. I never got to race, and all 3 of you are getting to race. And then she also sent a little surprise. I actually delivered it today to her mom and dad, to Ellie Hensley. Because when she saw Ellie out there in a Wing 604, she also wanted to give something to Ellie. But we do have quite a few female drivers at Wilmot in various divisions, and we got trained
Sure.
at UTEC too, and
Yep.
a wing or a non-wing
Yep.
604, a wingless.
Yep.
So that's pretty
It's
good.
good to see.
Yeah, it sure is. And like
Yeah.
you mentioned, we want to see the young ones.
Yeah.
We want to see the young ones competing because
It's the future of our sport.
right. I mean, you and I got a little different color hair than most of them.
Right. Exactly.
and you're absolutely right. And just like Saturday when I go out to Sycamore with the lightning sprints, I mean, we've got a 13-year-old, we've got a 16-year-old, we've got a 17-year-old. We've got a lot of young racers in that lightning sprint right now. And that'll be kind of fun to see on Saturday as well. And what about you? I mean, your son ran for a while, right?
Yeah. He's just really busy with work right now. He got tied in with Southport Plumbing, so he's working with Terry Kudrowski, Brandon Murtis, and Blake Cruiser. And they got him working up in Madison. He's like 60 hours a week right now. So I'll be hopping into 4-cylinder again this Saturday night. So and then on the 30th, I don't know if he's going to be able to make that or if I got to get somebody else in the 4-cylinder because we got both that and the street stock running. So
you don't want to try to run 2 cars?
You know what? I thought about doing it last week, and okay, my brother, I'm old, right? my brother's another 10 years older than me, and we put in 140 hours in little over 3.5 weeks to get that car together. We tried to make it the week before, and we came up a little bit short. I took it for a test drive, and all we had was rear brakes. And I said, no, I hit the wall with the last car because my brakes went away. I said, I'm not taking this car out with questionable brakes just to go out and turn some laps. So we waited, and it's just been a lot of work, and and Garrett is definitely missed because he's the energy and he's the new welder because that's what he does for a living now. And it's just been a long road to hoe here lately.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, folks, you mentioned your brother and that and your son, folks that you want to thank that helped you get to the racetrack and help you get not only the street stock, but your 4-cylinder to the track each and every week.
Oh boy. Well, first and foremost, Duramax Trucking, that's Ben and Scott Dahlberg. They've been with me about 7-8 years now. They have been awesome. And then Ricky Storbeck with 1175, as he sponsors one class and stuff. Al's Auto Salvage and Sales has been with me forever and a day. My brother-in-law was Al's main crew chief for 20 to 30 years, I think it was. Then I got Bobby Gutnick with Oak Creek Automotive. He's helped us out a ton here and there. And Ron and Bonnie at Stumble In, they fill my cooler for me every week. Then this year, who was it? Tin Can Roadhouse jumped on. Jeff and Candy, they sponsor my car this year and whatnot. And then Dover Flag, they jumped on this year. They're on the hood of Garrett's car and front fenders of my street stock. We got All Pro Paving, and let me see.
One of the benefits of having the car right there.
Mathers Construction. They were on with me last year, and they hadn't got back with me this year. But and H2NO, they were with me here last year, and they kind of fell by the wayside this year. Times are tough, so I understand it,
Yeah.
But a whole bunch of good people, and you can't do it without them. You just can't,
That's for sure. So, I want to mention before I let you go too, and I'm not going to make you commit now. I mean, it's like a month away, just about a month away. the 8th annual Jim Wildman Watson Classic up there at the Plymouth Dirt Track that Nick Simons puts together every year. It's going to have 1,000 to win wingless. They're going to have 1,000 to win mods, 500 to win street stocks.
Okay.
And 500 to win bandits.
Oh, really?
Plus the big bike giveaway, and that's and also the Dirt King late models are going to be running for $2,000 to win. That'll be on Saturday, September the 20th, up there at Plymouth. Extreme Transportation Specialist and MLS Auto Clinic are two of the.
Oh, is that the same weekend Beaver Dam's running?
Could be.
Oh man.
On the Saturday, yeah, it could be. I know the dam is running Friday, and I think they're running Friday and Saturday. But I think there was a lot of dates looked at.
Yeah,
and because we're also trying to stay away from 141's big.
Your Fall Classic, yeah.
Right. So there's just it's so funny. We have all these days during the year, and we can't get events in, and then all of a sudden at the end, everybody's trying to scrunch everything all at once.
Right.
But like I say, I'm not looking for a commitment from you, just tossing it out there. And
boy,
folks,
I am interested. I've always wanted to race at Beaver Dam. It's been one of my favorite tracks since I watched Kurt run his lightning sprint up there years ago. And I never got the chance to race there. The IMCA knocked off the 4-cylinders years ago. And then Plymouth is another track that we took the lightning sprint to, and I always wanted to race there as well. And the fact that Nick's running that, I would really like to participate in that. So
we'll you can always go to the dam on Friday and then come over to Plymouth on Saturday, huh?
Yeah. Well, and I think that might be the weekend that we have the cabin up on the river. So I might be triple booked. We'll see which way this works out here.
All right. Well, Dale, thank you very much for taking the time. Say hello to Garrett, and
you bet.
Best of luck this weekend. And
okay.
I'll be following you guys on my race pass from Sycamore.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Take care, Dale.
God bless. You have a good night.
You too. Okay. Bye-bye. Again, that was Dale Elider joining us. I'm going to actually change wardrobe just slightly here. Don't worry. I was told earlier I have to keep this PG. So we're going to now talk about an event that is coming up that is, this weekend. And it's, I believe it's also probably the 8th annual event for this. I'm going to show it to you first, because once I put it on, you can't see the back. This is the back. And all the different kind of cars that Bill Waite Jr. was involved in racing and driving and, working with over the years. And now I'm going to put it on so you can see the front. And this is a shirt from the original Bill Waite Jr. Memorial. And this coming weekend is, I believe, it is the 8th Bill Waite Jr. Memorial. And it is going to be, stand up a little bit so you can see the car and this shirt. This coming weekend, it's going to be on Saturday night at LaSalle Speedway in LaSalle, Illinois. And I'm actually they don't know they're going to be on together, but they're going to be on together now. So no fighting, guys. We're going to bring on the show now Alan Taters Hafford, who won the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Car feature the last time this event was held at LaSalle. And then we're also going to bring in a gentleman who's from a family that is definitely no strangers to racing in these parts, Tony Izzo Jr., and his family was just recently inducted into the National, help me get this right, Tony, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame, correct?
That is correct. We were fortunate enough to be inducted into there last weekend in Florence, Kentucky.
Well, that's something that you folks have definitely earned. I've known you guys for many years. Actually, I've known your family probably before you were born, Tony. I don't know. We're
Your
pretty close.
mom mentions your name very frequently to me, so it's I didn't realize. She says she's been doing stuff with you guys for the longest time. So yeah, probably before I was even. But and not to steal the thunder here, but she's the real reason. I mean, we've all. When my dad had the vision, with reopening Kankakee and then reopening LaSalle and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for my mom and her hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, we wouldn't be, 50 years later, um, still doing it. We've all, between my brothers, my sisters, and that was what was so great about going into the Hall of Fame this weekend was we went in as a family, because whether it was Carrie Ann taking the reins here or Joey taking the reins here, well, I was off racing. The whole family has pitched in, and over, like I said, we've been doing it for almost 50 years as a family.
And that's we actually, it's ironic you bring that up, because last week we had a 4-cylinder family of like 4 or 5 different people, all related or semi-related, they're friends, whatever, and they all run 4-cylinders. The Bandits, they run them at Wilmot, and they were all on last week. And then we had the Bostics, which is a name that you may recall, because Chuck Bostic Jr. ran late models. His dad ran late models back at Waukegan Speedway.
Yeah, it's all about family. I mean, that's even the theme of this weekend's race, the Waite Family Memorial. It's the Bill Waite, but it's really the family that has, uh, it's more of a it's more of a gathering for the Waite family yearly. And it's a memorial, but it's really a celebration. And it's families coming together, the Waite family coming together and sharing the memory and stuff. Racing wouldn't be what it is without family. I mean, you look at, like you said, so many, and that's why, truthfully, racetracks like Sycamore and Fairbury and the ones that have been around for 60 plus years are the successful ones right now, because it's been a generational family thing. It's like farming to other families. You race. I got to go to races. That's what my great grandfather did. That's what my grandfather did. So,
Right.
without family, and that's really what makes our sport the best, is it is so family orientated.
Well, and we've got a guy on now, and his family's been involved in racing too. And the last time a wingless sprint car feature was run at LaSalle, 2018, I believe. We've got the date solidified now. Alan Tater's Hafford won it. And Alan, welcome to the program. And tell us a little bit about what you recall about that win, and what your plans are for this Saturday night, besides winning.
It's just a normal day at the racetrack, really. And I do remember asking Tony, because it was pretty dry heat race time. I said, "Hey, you going to do any farming out there?" And, I think at the time he just stretched the track and said, "No, we're just going to go." So it was a fun time. I remember taking my left front torsion bar, putting it in the right rear, and that's what got us the win, I'd say.
I remember you asking me a lot of times when I'd run into you here and there, when are we going to come back? You really like this place and stuff. I remember these conversations.
Yeah, I wish we'd run there more, for sure. It's close to home, and change is good, once in a while.
Well, and who are some of the guys that you ran with back then, Taters, and which ones are still running with you and probably still going to be at LaSalle this Saturday night?
I think Zach Radart ran back then. I think Johnny Fall was running with us.
Tim Cox, I know, just posted today.
Running.
He's going to be running.
There's been so many. There's so many new kids. Like, I feel like the older guy now. I'm only 40, but I remember giving Tim a hard time years ago, and now I think I'm the second oldest driver there, maybe third oldest driver there, or.
And then now in the 410 wing sprint cars, I'm actually pulling it up right now. Thanks to Cody Tennyson, he found this on My Race Pass. It's pretty cool. You can go way back and see who won races, set fast time, all that kind of stuff. And it was Parker Price Miller out of Kokomo, Indiana, won the feature. Giovanni Scelzi out of California finished second. Some guy named Tony Stewart finished third.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. I mean, he never developed to be anything. And actually, I got to ask you, Tony. Somebody told me that he helicoptered in for the race. Do you remember that? Is that true?
Yes. He and it wasn't even really by his design. A local guy with a helicopter came here early in the day or early the day before, asking if he could offer a complimentary ride just to get to meet him and all that. And so our people and reached out to his people. We told him we could pick him up at the local airport and drop him off here so he wouldn't have to. So we it was something the local guy did to. He flew into the local airport and we picked him up with the helicopter and brought him over. Yep.
That's pretty cool. Well, taking a look at a few more of these names, Scotty Thiel, who just announced last week he left his team and he's looking for a new team. So we don't know if we'll see Scotty or not. You never know. Bill Baylog, 10-time. You still there, Tony?
I got to get back. I got a phone call and
okay, no problem. Actually, Taters and I'll handle it till you come back. That's okay, no problem. Bill Baylog now running with the World of Outlaws on a regular basis and 10-time IRA champ. He finished sixth in the sprint car, the wing sprint car feature. Jake Blackhurst, I'm sure, will be there Saturday. Not sure about the Mohans. Sometimes they run, sometimes they don't. Joey Mohan and Jim Mohan Jr. Paul Nienheiser, who also runs with Moa quite a bit. So, it'll be interesting. Chris Spitz, will I'm sure be there. Scotty Neitzel, the Iron Man of the IRA. I'm sure he'll be there. So those were names that I'm looking at here that ran in the feature event. Ben Schmidt actually now is running 360 sprints, and so he'll be at Wilmot on Saturday night running with the MSA. But Tony, Tony's back. Tony, could you tell us? Then I just lost him again. See if he comes back here before I ask. I'll go to Alan then. Alan, have you gotten to see the new LaSalle Speedway at all, or are you going to be going in a little bit blind on Saturday?
Going a little blind, maybe watch a video on YouTube. I'm sure they had some late model races this year.
Yeah, I think there were some late models that ran there, and actually in October, I think you guys are going back there because the World of Outlaw sprint cars are coming in there in October. I believe it's the second weekend in October. For you as a driver, Taters, what kind of, I know a lot of preparation goes into the car, behind the scenes, during the week, on race night. But do you tend to make a lot of changes in the car, or do you kind of like the car set up the same way almost all the time? Maybe a slight tweak here or there.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask my dad, I make 1,000 changes a night. If you ask Craig Campton, my car will spin out in the staging area. It's so loose. If you ask Johnny Fall, it's really tight. So it just, I got, shock numbers that I go through. I try to chase those numbers as the night goes and ride heights and try to stick with it. But every once in a while you get a curveball, and then, it's just part of racing. Dirt changes, tires change, everything, nothing's the same anymore.
Right. Well, and that's the thing about, even asphalt racing, they will say that, sometimes if you're racing and it's hot out, as the sun goes down, the track surface will change, or vice versa. If you got a lot of sun coming into a certain area, the track gets warmer. And with clay, I mean, you can see it just about any track, especially at this time of year. If it all of a sudden the sun's setting, for a while you got the sun shining on the track, and then all of a sudden it starts to set. Can you have a different car or different track and have to have a different setup for qualifying than you will have for the feature, or does it usually stay close to the same?
It just depends on the situation, just as you said with the sun. Depends on the weather during the week. If it dries up from from what it was compared to the beginning of the night, normally we would soften things up a little bit on the right side. But everybody's different. There's many different ways to skin a cat, as they say. So.
And what about Alan Tater's Hafford? What got you interested in racing? And tell us a little bit about your racing history.
Well, what got me into racing is my mom's water broke in '85 at Wilmot in the infield. So Dad likes to tell the story. He made it from Wilmot to Waukegan in 30 minutes. But I was corrected, 20 minutes. But I've been around racing all my life. My dad's helped some pretty cool drivers. The late Mike Frost, also Dave Hanna, Jimmy Walkenoff. He's even helped Matt, Vanderveer here and there. Matt's being my best friend. We've been around racing all our life. That's kind of all we know. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And now you've driven a wingless, you've driven a wing 410. Have you driven the wing 604 too, or just the 410?
Yeah, I've done a non-wing 410, wing 410, wing crate, non-wing, drag race.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Well, and I would presume, since it's what you're driving now, is the wingless, wingless crate motor car. Is that your favorite of them, or do you have some ambitions to drive something else eventually?
I think next year we're gonna do some 410 non-wing racing. It's always a challenge to do something new. So I think that's cool. And as I get older, I'm learning just to have fun with it. A couple of years ago, I'd take it really serious, and now it's just kind of, if we do 10th, okay. If we do 5th, that's great too. But we're just, having fun with it.
Well, and then that's the whole thing. Like Tony was saying, it's family. Yeah, and Dale was on just before you. I mean, it's his family that's been involved. You want to have the family involved, otherwise it's not going to be fun. The other thing that your family has done, and I appreciate the support. The last couple of years now, we've had an award recognizing a young up and coming star that's been at the Let's Go Racing Motorsports show down at the lakefront in Waukegan. We do have a tentative date next year. We're going to move it. We keep moving it, hoping that we're going to get warmer weather. And so now we've moved it to June. Father's Day Sunday. We decided, it's okay. You definitely don't want to do anything on Mom's Day, but Father's Day, yeah, we could have a car show on Father's Day. That's, bring Dad out, bring the kids out, bring them down, see the cars. So we'll have more details on that soon. And actually, Waukegan Harbor Marina, where Robbie Kutzler has been great to work with, they got a big duck event a week from Saturday. They're going to have a huge duck. It's a rubber duck, but it's huge. It's supposed to be the world's biggest rubber duck. I don't know, but it's going to be in the harbor, and they're going to have all kinds of other activities a week from Saturday. So before you head up to the races at Wilmot, you can go down and see the rubber duck. So we could have had duck races last Saturday. That might have worked out pretty good. Speaking of that, for a driver, I mean, you get there just like me, just like the fans, the people that were at the fair, and then all of a sudden the weather doesn't look good, then it starts lightning, and the sheriff orders everybody to, take shelter, and then everybody's waiting. Is it one of those situations where you're like, okay, if it's going to rain, let's get it over with. Just rain, and then we can all go to the fair and have a good time, or go home, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I feel bad for the promoters too. You have time and fuel during the week. You have concession foods that you've already made. So I get where they want to keep it. Try to get it in, but at the same time, it's. I think we were there till like 8 o'clock or maybe a little later before they decided to cancel it. But then them deals are tough. Everybody, I pulled into the track thinking I was going to race, that they pulled into the track thinking, hey, we're going to have a race tonight, so.
Yeah. I mean, the one plus is that, the fair was going on. It seemed like a lot of people stayed and went over on the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds was pretty full, and you still had bands over there, and they actually, had the rides going again after the lightning and the rain stopped. So you still, and they kept the concessions open for a while at the racetrack because, like you said, they had plenty of food that they had prepared for people, and so I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and Tony, I mean, you're a promoter now. You get to wear the other hat. As a promoter, would you almost rather say, okay, good Lord, if you're going to rain today, just let's get it done. Let's get it over with before we start making any hot dogs or hamburgers or anything, because otherwise you're just sitting there. Well, you don't have a lot of hair to pull, Tony, but you're pulling your hair out, saying
obviously you want to save everybody the time that they can and the trip and the work and getting out here and everything. We're all going to be at a loss as it is already. So, like he said, we got time invested in fuel and prep and all that stuff. But there's nothing worse than having rain come in the middle of the show, and then you got to sit and wait it out, and then you don't know if you're going to get it in, and then the rain, you don't get it in, and it's just it's a mess that nobody wants to be a part of.
Yeah, it's the one thing we got no control over when it comes to an outdoor sport with no dome.
Well, that's it. I mean, I tell everybody's like, hey, you should do this. Hey, what do you think about this on this day? And I go, what's the weather going to be? They're like, how do I know? I go, because that's going to dictate everything. I would do. My hands are tied. The weather dictates our sport more than anything else in the world. I mean, I guess farming and different things, but it's not a sport. But our sport is definitely dictated by the weather. Something interesting while you're talking about weather stuff, we've been exploring with weather insurance. It's something new that's kind of really becoming and growing feet. And we use a company called Vortex. And you can almost buy an insurance policy now. I mean, not almost. You can buy an insurance policy that if you get X amount of rain through certain hours, it covers some of the loss revenue.
Right. Yeah. So now and besides, of course, the Bill Waite that's coming up this Saturday. Other events that you've got coming up at LaSalle. I mean, you've and I commend you. When I saw you and your partner announced that you were going to reopen it, you announced, and it wasn't just going to be a racetrack. You are making it an entertainment venue. And I still remember listening to the late Hugh Derry say, we're not in the racing business, we're in the entertainment business. And you are running with that.
I've heard my mom and dad say that over and over again, whether it was at drivers' meetings to the racers or your employees that you're working for. You got to remember, we're here to entertain these people that give us their hard-earned dollar. I actually had a conversation with Tom Derry at the Hall of Fame. He went in this weekend into the hall just with us, and he said, hey, I heard you did a rodeo. He said, how did that go? He said, because, we are in entertainment business. So that whole story that you just said went 300, went completely 360. And the rodeo was great for us. The rodeo was great. The monster truck show coming up September 13th. Sales are already higher than we expected. And now that we've hit the ground running, we're definitely going to look at so many other things, because the rate, let's just face it, the racing industry's changed. You used to be able to run 20, 30 nights a year and pay your bills off that. And right now it's changed to where you gotta have other things to entertain the community with. The community can't afford it to come out anymore weekly for the same show. You know what I mean? Nobody goes to the movies and watches the same movie over and over again. So our theory is to entertain them with other things and affordable, family friendly orientated things.
That's for sure. Now, I was talking to Taters a little bit about, the track and the complex. I'm sure were different when he was there in 2018 than they're going to be this Saturday. What are some of the changes that folks will see if they were there back in 2018 and are coming this Saturday night?
We closed the opening up in turn 4. We used to enter the racetrack in turn 4 and exit in turn 3. We enter and exit now in turn 2. And what it's established for us and allowed us to do is to keep the less openings you have in your racetrack, the less the dirt leaves the racetrack. It hits the walls, falls down, builds a ridge. So there's stuff for guys to lean against. The turn 4 always fell off so bad coming off of turn 4 to the finish line, where now we can keep good banking there. The racetrack's got a lot more banking at the top of the racetrack. But the on and off is in turn 2, and that's the biggest thing. And it's allowed us, like I said, we used to have 3 openings, and now we only have 1, and it allows the dirt to hit the fence, lay down, build a ridge, and a cushion for people to lean against, which obviously makes for good racing. And we'll have a lot more moisture in the racetrack this year than what we did in the past. We got a good substantial amount of rain early in the week, which helps us get on top of the water. And I think it's gonna be lightning quick times, and it's gonna be a really, really good show.
And besides the couple of events that you just mentioned, you've got the World of Outlaws coming in October, correct?
Yeah, no pressure there, right? I mean, it's just, but this is why I'm, this whole thing with Steve and the group at IRA, not to, it's almost like preseason for us, I guess, if you want to say. It's going to allow us to see what we need to do with racetrack wise, how it races, how's the opening work with only 1 opening, with getting cars on and off. And it's going to allow us to learn a lot, so that when the World of Outlaws come in October, we're out on top of our game. And we're super excited to have them back here. We've had them for years ago we had them, and but we're really excited to have the 410s back this Saturday.
It's going to be a great show, and it's funny you mentioned Steve, and a lot of the folks that tune into our podcast know that Steve is also, besides when he's not wearing his IRA hat, he's an insurance man for K&K Insurance, and I happened to catch him on his way back from Knoxville, and he was talking to me, and he goes, "I'm going to have to go pretty quick." He goes, "I'm just pulling into LaSalle, and I'm trying to beat the rain because I got to see how they got things set up now to see how that's going to work with us pushing our cars off when we come."
Yeah. That. He called me. He said, "Hey, all the gates are locked. I jumped the fence just so if anybody calls and says anything, I know it's coming." But no pressure there neither, right? Have your insurance agent be at your race too. But we like to be on top of things, and Steve's really good to work with, and Steve's a racer himself, so what better guy to buy insurance from than a racer himself. So he came out, and that just again shows his dedication, and that's why he went into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame this year. He doesn't need to stop here, but he's already looking ahead so that his guys have the best situation when they come here this Saturday also. And he was able to come and put an eye on it. We had a conversation about it, and we got a good plan for Saturday.
Okay, well, we're starting to get close to our time running out here, so I'm not going to let either of you guys go just yet, but I'm going to go over to Taters and then kind of let him go. Alan, folks you want to thank that get you to the racetrack and are going to get you to LaSalle this Saturday night. And no pressure on you, but, hopefully get you back-to-back wins at LaSalle and get you in victory lane again.
That'd be cool. First and foremost, I'd like to thank, just as you guys were talking earlier, is my family. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this. This is whether it be my girlfriend, my mom, my dad, my brother, the kids, Gianni, Javian. They've all been a big help, and I'm truly grateful for that. All Fleet Truck and Trailer Incorporated, Metalcraft, Hyper Sports, Hefner Racing Products, M3 Custom Creations, High Performance Lubricants, Baling Racing Equipment, Jack's Helmet Designs, Bodycraft of Antioch, Don's Auto Parts and Machine Shop, Master Truck and Trailer, Berryman Racing Shocks, SW Underground, BSG Solutions, and Doug Olson. That's right. And then, I'm sorry, Trever Tavern, formerly Kelly's Pub there in Trever.
Uh-huh.
They just came on board, and we enjoy going there after the races.
All righty, sounds good. And so then we'll be looking forward, and I'll be following from Sycamore on my race pass, seeing what you're doing over there in the wingless, the number 38 on Saturday. And Tony, I know there's a lot of folks that have helped you resurrect LaSalle, and folks that you want to thank, and also sponsors. If you got marketing partners out there, go ahead and give them a shout.
Well, there's just way too many, and we've had so much support, people donating their time, people donating equipment. But first and foremost, again, without my family's dedication, without Mom saying to me and my partner, Justin McCoy, and I thank him and his family, it was his vision to say, let's reopen it. I'll do all I can do to help. But had he not brought it to me and we brought it to Mom, and Mom gave us the green light to go ahead and do it, there's just no way we could have done it. And there's no reason to mention just one person, because there was hundreds, and it's just everybody that's ever helped us to get this back open and reopened and get us to the point where we can have this again. I can't thank them all enough, especially, like my sister's flying in from North Carolina this weekend just to help. And I can't thank my family enough, and all the support we got of all the local sponsors. And I can't thank the Waite family for allowing us to bring the name back here and to have a race like this back here, and just all the people that have trusted in us to partner with us, support us, and most of all the fans that have come out in drones. We are blown away with the amount of support we've gotten from the fans. And let's face it, like in my speech at the Hall of Fame, without the fans, there's no racing. So I can't thank them enough. They're the most important people, and hopefully they come out Saturday and enjoy themselves. And I want to thank you for having me on and letting me share this time. And thanks again to everybody, the race fans mostly.
All righty. Any certain place folks can go for advanced tickets or for information about the event?
Yeah, LaSalleSpeedway.com. That's simple. There's a link there for tickets for the next 3 events, and all the information you need for start times and everything else for Saturday are all there.
All righty. Sounds good.
Yeah, LaSalleSpeedway.com.
All righty. Sounds great. Well, the best to you for a great event on Saturday. Like I've been saying, I'll be following you guys on my race pass from Sycamore. And then I'm planning on being there in October to call the wingless. So I look forward to seeing you in October with the World of Outlaws.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Alan, see you Saturday.
See you, Tony.
Okay. Tony, say hello to your family for me. God bless. And Alan, same to you. Say hello to everybody for me, and God bless to you too.
Yep,
thanks a lot, gentlemen. Good night. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. There's a lot of big time racing going on this week. Great Lakes Dragaway, always racing. And you can call them at 262-302-2138 or 262-394-8392 for the latest information. John is actually racing at Cordova. So that's why he couldn't be with us tonight with our weekly report, but we'll be certainly getting him on next week. So again, go in, go get out there, take in a race, a local short track race. And yeah, IndyCar is running at the Milwaukee Mile too on Sunday if you want to go up there for that kind of racing. So that's up to you. Just get out there and enjoy some racing. That's why you can record the NASCAR race on Saturday night. Go to your local short track. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing, everybody.